the last video talking about the need to get caught up on assembling the project. So real world assembly, we've got the back quad connected, cut it down to a 14, I believe 14.5 inch pipe. And then we've got the 152 degree bend so that we can eventually connect this front tube to the back tube. So let's go in and insert some new parts that we need. And let's insert the quad first. So let's do part 6 and part 7. Let's move those around and then we'll import the other ones as we need them. Top view. Let's rotate this one. Let's left click on the second one, drag it down, get it into position. So we're going to rotate it as well. Get it to 90 degrees and bring it over here close to that location. This one back up. Now we're going to be using the slider feature again to assemble these, so we don't necessarily have to have them right next to each other, but it does give us repetition with moving things around. Alright, that looks good. Go back to isometric view. So you'll notice if we went over here to left view, these are still too high. They look like they were oriented correctly. So left click here. And then when you want to move the other part, you have to left click the white space. I'm going to go ahead and move that one over. Left click the white space, left click the part. And that's good enough. I mean, isometric view. Okay, let's use the slider feature. Left click the slider mate. We're going to click on this part first and this part second. There we go. Let's play that and make sure it's going to go the direction we want. Yes. Let's set the limits. So we'll go 1.5 inches here. Now let's play that again. It should stop there. Good. To top view. I'm going to close the slider. I want to look at that and make sure, I'm going to scroll in here, yeah, that's going down, and when that starts to move, I'll know it has bottomed out. But let's go ahead and get this next one connected, and then we can change the depth of that. Let's go to isometric view, slider mate, select this one, scroll around, select the front part of that. There, those are connected. Let's hit play. Yep, that's the direction we want it to go. Let's set our limits to 1.5 inches. And then let's go back to top view. Let's left click on that and let's bring that up until it bottoms out and moves that other part. Yeah, that looks good. We can adjust these if we need to. That's where I messed up. I didn't move this one. So that's why those were not matching. I'm going to do the same thing over here until this one bottoms out and moves the part. I'm going to take this one, I'm going to move it until it bottoms out. Alright, good. Take that, left click, that bottoms out, and now we should be able to just move this one until it moves all of that. There we go. Let's go insert, and we need that 14-inch base tube. Let's place it somewhere right around here. Let's look at it from right view, and let's drag that up. Let's close that out. We don't want that. Alright, so we've got that off. Let's just go ahead and continue to use slider mate. So we want this one here to slide in, and we'll turn that part back on to the front part of this. There we go. Let's hit play. and see. Alright, that goes in the direction we want. Let's set our limits to 1.5 for now. And then let's go and hit play again. Alright, so that goes in there. And I'm just going to close this out, and I'm going to move. I'm going to go to top view so that I can see that better. And I'm going to move that one. Yeah, I think 1.5 inches would be good right there. So let's just do negative 1.5 inches. There. Alright, good. So I'm going to turn that connection off. I'm going to go to slider mate. I'm going to scroll around here. I'm going to click on that. We're going to set our limits to 1.5. Alright. Close that out. Oh, nope. We got to select the other side here. So we're going to turn this one back on, and we're going to select the front part of that. Good. And then we'll close that out. And then that looks good. So we've got that one connected. Over here to the bottom right hand corner, let's left click on that ruler. Let's click on this outer surface here and the outer point here. And let's real quickly look at our X distance. So X going across this direction. You see X up here. So let's look at maximum distance here. We're looking at almost 10 inches, and that's what it should be. So we may be a little bit too far in, but it should be right at 10 inches. So that's pretty close to what we want. Is going down 1.75. The 152-degree bend up here. The tube is actually going in that 2.25 inches. So if you average that out, it's going to be about 2 inches. So I'm going to set these at 2 because I know this one can go 2 inches in depth, especially if I clean out some more supports. So I'm not worried about losing any space. And the tube, we can also adjust the tube. Now the tube that's running here is 14.5 inches. And we have a base tube that was 14 inches, but we need to create a new base tube. So we're going to go to Part Studio real quick and create that tube because we haven't created that yet, and label it. Let's go in, let's turn this one off. We're going to go to front view, go to sketch, and let's select our plane. Let's go over here to center point circle, left click in the center, or hover in the center, then left click, draw that out. And we're going to need this to be 1/2 inch to be. I'm going to hit escape. I'm going to go up to the dimension tool. I'm going to left click on that, bring that across, and go 0.5 because this is going to be a 1/2 inch aluminum tube. We can close that out now, and let's go up here to top view, and let's go up here, create a new sketch, top plane. Let's left click on the line tool, hover in the center of that plane, then left click and draw that out straight, and then hit escape to stop the line tool. And let's go over here to the dimension tool and let's draw this out. We want this to be 14.5 inches. Good. Now we can close that tool out. Let's go to isometric view and just look at that. Let's go to sweep. Make sure it's set at solid, new. Now we're going to select the face, so left click on the outer part of that circle. Then swept path, left click on that to turn it blue, and then come down and hover over the line, left click on that. Now we've created our tube. We can close that out. Now we need to hollow it out, so we're going to use shell. Left click on that, come down, left click on one end, scroll around to the other, left click on the other side, and we want those to be 1/16 of an inch, so 0.625. Close that out. So got 1/16 of an inch. We'll go down to this part. We're going to right click on this. Let's rename it. We'll know where it's at, where it's located, because the other one that goes on the top may be a different size when we get to it. Let's go to isometric view and right click on part 11. Let's go edit appearance and let's give it a silver color since it is an aluminum tube. Let's go back up and rename these sketches. So this is going to be our 14.5 inch bottom back frame tube. Alright, so we've got that named. Leave it set up there. Let's go over and left click on assembly. Let's go to insert for the bottom back tube. And we're going to need 2 of those, but let's go ahead and get this first one in. We're going to have to rotate this. Let's go to top view, left click. I'm going to go ahead and close this out now so that we can rotate it. So I'm going to left click on this. We're going to rotate it in this plane 90 degrees. Let's go over to the front plane. Now this is where we've got to get our angle. I think it was a 62 degree angle. Let's see if that matches here. Pretty sure. May have to type it in to get it exact. I'm going to highlight that, left click, highlight 62. Let's draw this up, bring this over. I'm going to drag this across, make sure those match. Alright, they're fairly close, but it's just repetition on moving these around. This first. We'll click on this one, second, left click, set our limits. Let's go ahead and go 2 inches for this because it'll average it out, because the top one will set for 2 inches as well. Back up. Let's hit play. Make sure that's alright. That's going in the direction we want. So now I'm going to close it out. Let's go to back view and see if that looks better. Yes. And then when it moves, we know we've gone too far. Alright, that looks good. Now we're going to repeat the same process on the other side. So I won't make you watch that. Okay, so we've got the other one in. We just repeated the same process. We set this one at 1.75. I think I'm going to go ahead and go in and set that one at 1.75 as well, just to keep those consistent. Yeah, I'm keeping these aligned. So I'm just bringing this one down until it's even with that. And then I'll look at it from side to side, see how that one's hanging over. I'm going to go back since I think this one is the longer one. Yeah, so we don't see it on this side. So I'm just going to move that one down until I start to see that line thicken. Now I know they're almost virtually even. So now we need that 152 degree bend. Insert. Let's go down until we see the 152. So there's part 8, part 9. They're the same part. Click on that one just to rotate it, orient it in the direction we want. Let's close this out so that we can rotate. Alright, so we clicked on that and we need it to go this direction here first. So there's 90 degrees. Let's go over here on the back view. Let's rotate this up so that it would fit on there. I'm just going to have to align that right now and make sure. What I'm going to do is just line these up there. Let's go 0.25. 0.25. Yeah, okay. That is good. We're going to use the slider mate. Let's go over here. Slider mate. Let's left click on this surface first. See if we're doing the right ones. And let's hit play. Alright, good. That one slides onto that. Here to 2 inches. Close that out. And we're going to go back to, I'm just going to find the best angle here. Right. And then I'll bring this one down. And that should get us right at the 2-inch mark. Alright, so let's import the part 9. Before, let's turn this around 90 degrees. You still want to get it in the right direction. Otherwise, once it's connected, you may have trouble moving it around without moving the other parts. So I try to get it as close as possible. It's fairly close because this should be at a 62-degree angle. I'm just going to match it up to the other one on the other side. Let's move it down here. Let's line these up. There. That's what we want. That's lined up. There. Let's set our limits for 2 inches. Let's hit play. Yep, that goes where we want it to. Let's go back over here. 1.99. And that should, yep, get us to where we need to be. Good, that looks good. Caught up with our assembly. We just printed the T-fittings in the last video. We're gonna put those on, real life example. Then we'll come back in, we'll do the assembly for that so we don't make this video too long.